Okay, today we're going to go ahead and do the second video on the Hornady Lock and Load Progressive Press. Today what we're going to cover is we are going to cover the priming system. And we're going to cover the priming system from top to bottom, okay? When we get done, you're going to know how to set this up so it runs smoother, it runs dependable, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to adjust the cam wire on this so you can get it working every time. So that way down the road, if you have any issues and you need to redial it in, you'll be able to do it just like that. Okay? So what we're going to do first is I'm going to give you some hints, some little tricks here. Okay? I'm going to pull the camera in a little closer. When you have your press torn down, as you can see, we have our dies out of this. It's stripped down about as far as it can go. What you want to do is you want to get some emery cloth, okay? You want to run your emery cloth up and down this portion of the base plate, okay? Just go back and forth. You want to get any sharp burrs off this, okay? You want to come over here, okay? And you want to run the emery cloth around this raised machine portion of the base plate. And then this edge here, both sides of this edge, you just want to run some emery cloth all around that, okay? Get that nice and smoothed out. You don't want a lip on there. You want it nice and smooth, okay? When you're done, you want to be able to take a piece of brass and slide it across there, okay, like it's ice. Then when you're done, just take the emery cloth, run it all through here, okay? Get this all cleaned up real good. Basically, a lot of guys have issues with eject problems. If you run your brass over this long enough, this raised machine part here, it'll smooth out, okay? But instead of going through all that headache, just work it over, okay? That'll help you a lot. There's two reasons why you can have issues with eject. One of them is a loose shell plate. I covered that in the first video. The second reason is that it just needs to be smoothed up, and that's it, okay? So, once you do that, okay, let me get the camera set back up, guys, okay? Once you do that, what you want to do is, I always say rubbing alcohol is your best friend, okay? Because it evaporates fast. You want to wipe this down really good, okay? I mean really good. Get everything off of it. Nice thing about the rubbing alcohol, cleans everything off and it evaporates quick, so you'll get rid of it fast. Okay, so there. Now we're ready to go. Now, the second thing that we want to do is I'm going to pull the camera up over here. I'm going to set it right here, right by this sharpening stone, okay? What we have here is a fine grit sharpening stone, and what you want to do is just take a little bit of honing oil, okay? Not going to take much. Hang on, guys, it's all plugged up. That's okay. When in doubt, a little ram oil, that'll work. Just get you some oil on there. WD-40, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, the primer slide. What we want to do is we've smoothened out the base plate. Now we're going to smoothen out this primer slide, okay? We're going to make this run like butter. We have this raised machine piece here, okay? What we want to do is we want to smooth all this down on this side. This flat side we don't really care about. It's this side that we want to smooth out. So just like you're sharpening a knife, you're going to put it flat, place your finger on there, and you're just going to run it through like that. That's all you're going to do. Basically, you're wanting to remove any burrs, okay? There you go. Now that's a 600 grit stone, okay? I wouldn't recommend doing anything less than that. I mean, if all you got is like a, if all you have is a coarse grit, it'll work, but a fine works even better, okay? So, once you're done, wipe this down, okay? Get all the oil off. Get 100% of that oil off. It's really important you do that, okay? So, let's set this camera back up, and now we're going to go into the reassembly. Okay. What you want to do, take your Hornady gun cleaner and dry lube, okay? There you go. That's it. Hit that shell plate just like that. You don't need any more than that, okay? And don't use case lube. Just use the dry lube, because when it evaporates off there, it'll be dry, okay, and you're not going to get buildup. First thing you want to do is put the priming ram in. Go ahead and thread that in. And I recommend threading it in with your fingers. Don't use a swivel head ratchet on it. You don't want to cross thread it, okay? And then just snug it up. Just use a little stubby wrench or a short crescent wrench and just snug it up. That's all you need, okay? Now, there's something I'll tell you on this, okay? Some guys make a statement that on the press right here, where the priming ram comes down, they'll start building a dimple, just like you see here, okay? Let me pull the camera in, guys. I don't have a zoom, so. You see the dimple right there? Okay. What they say is that's a bad design, because over time that dimple gets worse and worse, and then the priming ram, it's not positioned high enough to seat the primer. Well, that's not true. And the reason is once this dimple sets in far enough, it doesn't go any further. This will be the same way in 20 years. Okay. Once the mating surface is large enough, it just won't go any further. So just keep that in mind. Don't worry if you start making a dimple. Once the dimple's all the way made, you're fine. You're good to go, and it won't go any further. So, all right, there we go. So now what we want to do is we want to hook our priming slide in, okay? Now, let me show you something. A lot of guys, when they put this spring on, they use needle nose pliers, okay? But you don't have to, okay? I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay, and it's going to be between you and me. You got to promise not to tell anyone this, okay? When I show you this, it's between you and me. Hold your spring just like that, okay? Then, what you want to do, take your priming slide, put it in the spring like that, lay it over just like that. It's in, just that easy, okay? Let me do it again so you can see, okay? See if I can get my arm out of the way this time. Okay, you just put the priming slider into the spring like that, lay it over, pop it in, you're ready to go. Now, at this point, what you don't want to do, you don't want to raise the base plates top dead center, because when you do, this primer slide is gonna extend all the way out, and there's nothing to hold it, and your spring is going to go flying across the room, and you're going to lose it. Okay, probably see your priming slide go across the room too. So at this point, you don't want to raise the ram. Okay. So now we're going to take the primer base right here. We're going to go ahead and attach that. Okay. Go ahead and put your set screw in there. Get her tightened down. Okay. Now, when I'm done setting this up and we're running primers, I'm going to show you how to take this assembly all the way off without taking your primers out. Okay. Next, we're going to put the priming tube in. This kind of bites a lot of guys. Okay. You have two sides of the priming tube. Okay. I label all my tubes. Hornady Progressive large pistol tube. Okay. All my large pistol primers, whether they're Magnum or not, go through this. Okay. On this side, this is a beveled edge. Okay. Can you see that there? That's beveled. This side is flush cut, just flat. This side goes up, beveled side goes down. Okay, that's how they engineered it. If you have it this way, it's not going to feed primers. It's going to kind of bind up on you, and this slide's going to extend forward, and they're going to halfway drop it. It'll just drive you nuts. So make sure you got the beveled side down. So we got that in. Now, this tube here is an explosion tube. You call it whatever you want. But basically, it's a primer shield. If you happen to have the whole tube of primers go off, the explosion is directed up. Okay, whatever's above you gets wiped out. You'll be picking primers out of the ceiling. And I hope right now your safety glasses are on. Mine are. I always have my safety glasses on. Okay, you only have one set of eyes, protect them. So we got the explosion shield on, and now this little cap, it's going to retain the primer tube for us. Voila, we're set. Okay, so now for right now, I'm just going to hand feed these primers into here. Okay? And the reason I'm doing this is now I'm going to show you that this works. Okay? I don't want you to watch my videos and go, I wonder if that guy's press worked. I wonder if he's really full of it, man. That guy could be a liar. Nope, it's not going to be that way. First, I'm going to show you this working. So, there's 10 primers, okay? I'm going to put our priming rod in there, okay? This priming rod, what it does is when we get down to the last primer, it's going to seat down on the primer hole of the primer slide, and it'll lock the primer slide open, and that's how I know I'm out, okay? Just kind of that simple. So now, I'm going to run primers. So you can see, you can verify this really works. Okay? Voila. Okay? Now, if you're having problems with your primers feeding, isn't this how you want it to feed? Okay? Look how fast I can just rip them out, guys. Okay? That's what you want right there. Isn't it nice? Nice and smooth. Okay? Look at that. We're done. We're out. Okay? When I pull this priming rod out, there. We're done. We're out of primers. Okay? Yep. We're out. We're out. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I pulled the priming rod out, and I'm going to disassemble this. Okay, and what I want to do is we're going to adjust this cam wire so it won't feed primers. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some primers in here, because what I want to do, I want to show you how to take this apart. Let's say, as an example, you get this put together and you realize that you're doing small pistol and you got your large pistol set up in there, and you don't want to tear this all the way down. Okay, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and remove this with primers in there. Okay, it's really simple. Okay, go ahead and hold the explosion seal to the priming unit. Go ahead, loosen this small bolt and remove it. Set it aside. Now, at this point, it's loose. You don't want to let go of it. Take your index finger and put it right here and pivot this priming tube just like that. And now you got all your primers right there. And then, in a safe manner, come over to the primer tray, let your primers drop out. There you go. And you know what I do is I go ahead and take the priming rod, run in there, make sure you get them all. And the reason your primers will have a tendency to stick is they don't weigh nothing. They're just kind of sitting in there, you know. And I don't like to shake this, because you don't want those exploding on you. Okay. While you're doing it, try not to keep your thumb over that, because if you explode them, okay, you're gonna lose your thumb. So now we got an empty priming tube. Okay. Set that down, and it's now removed. So now what I'm going to do is this. Now that I've taken that apart, I'm going to put this back together. This is a good workout for you. Kind of get to see it kind of working in action here. Now, when you're tightening these, that's all the tighter you need. You don't have to muscle it on there. I'm a huge on not over torquing things, and I'm going to be making a video shortly here, and it'll be on properly torquing your dies, and it's going to go, it'll pertain to reloaders right across the board, everybody. So you'll be able to watch that, and I'll show you how to properly tighten your reloading dies. Okay, so I got some primers in there. Okay, you just put those in, and here's why I did that. Because now I'm going to throw this cam wire off. I'm going to off adjust it here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that it won't feed primers. Okay, so there, I just there you go, guys. I just ruined my press. I broke it. Okay, won't work. I can come out here like this. I won't feed a primer. Okay, I can go all day long. Okay, I got 6 primers in there, so I know I got plenty of primers for weight. I can put this priming rod in there, and I can ever so gently push on that rod with the priming slide all the way extended, and it won't feed them. There's no way I'm going to get a primer to feed on that. I just messed it up. Okay, but no problem. I'm going to tell you how a lot of guys adjust this. What they do is they loosen this small head bolt on the top, and they begin inching this here plastic bracket a little bit at a time. Okay, they'll just kind of keep budging it and budging it and budging it until they feed primers, and you'll pull your hair out. Okay, because it'll never be right, because you could go too far, and then once you get all the way fully extended, then you go back and you just pull your hair out. So I'm going to show you how to adjust this. We're going to make it so simple for you. Okay, first we're going to once again start by removing this priming tube. Okay. Okay, just like this. There we go. Okay, once again, watch your thumb. There. We are empty. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this in, and what I need to do, I kind of did this wrong. I need to put the priming base back on to properly adjust it. You got to have that on there. Okay. I'm going to adjust this. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to point it down into the priming base so you can see the position that the priming hole and the priming shuttle should be in. Now before I do that, I'm going to explain something to you. And I want you to think about what I'm saying, okay? This priming shuttle, when I bring the base plate to top dead center, is in its full index position, okay? So, when this priming slide is in its full index position, the hole in this has to be located somewhere within the hole of the priming tube to where the primer will fall every time. If this hole passes this hole, it won't feed. Remember how I just said primers don't weigh much? They don't weigh anything hardly. So if that hole in this primer slide passes the hole in the priming tube, it'll pass that quicker than that. And what will happen is sometimes the primers will halfway feed, sometimes they won't. You might get lucky and get one, depending on how close it is. But this is what I want you to think about. Think about this statement I'm going to make. For a brief moment in time, the hole in this priming slide has to line up with the hole in this priming tube almost. And the key word here is almost, okay? You want it perfectly lined up with the hole in the base priming base, except the hole in the priming slide has to be a little further this way by maybe a horse's hair, and it's not much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dial this in real quick, okay? Then I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to show you what I'm telling you. If you can figure this out, you can get your press to rock and roll. Okay, guys? I'm just loosening the wrong bolt. Jeez. Can't believe you guys are watching my video, man. I'm going to mess you up here. Okay. Okay, bear with me, guys. Oh, I just moved it. That's so perfect right there. What I recommend is once you get yours dialed in, look at it. Take your eye and look down into your press and see where it sits, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to get a bird's eye view of this and show you what it looks like, okay? So just bear with me, guys. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm just real good, that's all. Not really. Okay. you see that? Can you see how that hole, it's almost dead center, but it's a little further, you know, that direction, okay, going that way. And it's not by much. If you make that dead center, your primers won't feed every time. They're not going to feed smoothly. It just has to be that way. You don't want to pass it, okay? Some guys, they kind of get it to where those hole, that bottom hole passes the priming tube hole, okay? And you don't want that. You don't want that at all, because then once again you're not gonna feed smoothly every time, okay? So I hope that I really can't see this that well, you know, and all I'm seeing is a glare, but I'm thinking you guys are seeing this, okay? So there. Okay, so I think that that should get you in the direction you want to go, okay? That's going to get you to where you can get that dialed in. Now, if I've done my job, I should be able to assemble this. Now, I should be able to assemble this and make this work the first time, every time, for a long time. And really, once it's dialed in, it shouldn't go out on you. I don't ever have a problem. It'll be dialed in, and that's that. Now, I got some primers ready to go here. Here we go, guys. We're live. Okay. I can't stress enough that when you're reloading, you need to have your safety glasses on. I fear the primer's way worse than the powder. Okay, powder's not an issue. Primer's a big issue. Okay, if I've done this right, I should be able to feed a primer on the first stroke. Here we go. Look at that. Did I steer you wrong? I sure didn't. Look at that. Okay. Now, you can play around with it, and you can make those two holes dead center, but you're not going to feed smoothly, okay? And that's really going to mess you up. This is what I recommend, okay? What I recommend, okay, is before you set your whole press up, have it stripped down like this and get your priming assembly set up and run it. Run just the priming assembly. Don't, you know, some guys are in a hurry and they want to start making ammo. Problem is, you're going to get everything dialed in, and then all of a sudden this isn't going to work. You're going to pull your hair out. So what you want to do, just get the priming assembly set up to where it runs just like this, okay? That's the first thing. Then get your shell plate put on there, okay? Then get your resize deprimer die set up. Then the seat die, and then so on and so on. And as you can see, we're just feeding. And it'll feed all day long, guys. I'm telling you, if I can do 100 rounds like this, I can do 5,000. And if I can do 5,000, well, I can just go forever. So, there. So, the reason I'm just running all these is there's no way I'm going to make a video, okay, and run like 5 or 10. Because I don't want you to shut this off and then go have problems with your press and say, I wonder if that guy was kind of full of it, man. I think he's pulling my leg. That's not going to happen. There's no splicing on my videos. I've just run the whole video, and I'm trying to break this up into sections. So wherever you're struggling with your press, you know, you just go to that video. I'll tell you now, if you haven't watched my first video, that video covers eject problems. It's going to cover brass powders going over the mouth of the brass. It's going to cover your brass seating smoothly into the die. Some guys even have a problem with their brass getting smashed into the resized die. That video is going to cover that. And then last, it's going to cover getting your primers to seat smoothly into the priming pocket of the brass. Now that's two different issues, isn't it? What we're learning today is how to pick the primer in this hole smoothly and then bring it back into the load position. However, you could have a problem with the primer seating smoothly. That's two different issues. Go back to the first video if you're having issues with this. If you're crunching the brass into your, if you're crunching the primer into the priming pocket of the brass, go to that first video. Watch that. Good video. I'm telling you guys, the way I'm trying to do these videos is when you get done, you know every square inch of your press. But if you don't go out and work your press over, like what I'm saying is, go ahead and set your priming system up like this and just run primers, break it, after you run your primers, okay, off adjust it like I did, and then make a game out of it, Guys are always trying to tear their guns down and put them back together as fast as they can. That's awesome. That's what we do. We're gun guys, right? We'll learn the same thing with your press. Know that when you're sitting inside eating dinner and you're looking at the food in your plate, in your mind you can thoroughly see your entire priming system, the entire, every piece that's on there, and know that in your mind you see how to dial it in. You see it in your sleep. You know it. That's how we are with our guns. We can be working and we can think about our guns, and we know how to put that thing together. Look at that. I'm out. Okay, actually I think I have one in there. And I do, and it's because I didn't put this priming rod in. And that's user error, guys. Here's the last one. I just had to knock it through. So these priming rods, they're pretty handy. Now watch this. See, that priming rod falls into there. It locks into position, priming rod into there. It goes into the hole of the priming slide, and hey, we're out of primers. Voila. Okay? So, we saw that. Now, I'm going to show you a little tip, okay? You can call this a gym tip if you want, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to load this with primers. Okay, I'm going to show you once again how to remove this with the primers in it. Okay, before I move it, I'm going to show you what I built. I built this stand. Okay, I got calibration weights, and I got these weighted bullets on a little board here. But I drilled this hole and I threaded this hole. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you something. I don't have 3 hands, so this will be clumsy, but you're going to like this. You're going to like it a lot. If you have to remove this to do something with the priming rab and the priming slide, okay, and you don't want to take these out and then have to refill the priming tube and then reload them, we take the screw out, we put our finger under here. Now remember, this is full, right? So this is really going to work. There, I got all my primers. My thumb's not over the hole, okay? My safety glasses are on. Now, I'm going to attempt to do this with 2 hands, guys. There. So I come over here and I slide that little nubbin into that hole. And I just pivot this. And look at that. That is cool. I just turn that. And I just tighten that down. So now I don't have to refill that. Now I can have that there. It's not going to go nowhere, okay? Not going to fall, because what you don't want to do, you don't want that exploding, right? You want it safety first. Now I can come over here and I can take this apart. Oh, gee, I had to put the small pistol in here when I had left the large. So now you can do this, right? Then you're going to come over here. We're going to reverse it. Okay. Reverse order. Now, I'm going to grab the camera. Come back over here. Put the alignment pin in, turn that sideways. Look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome? There we go. We just caught ourselves a fish, didn't we? So there you go. I can come right back over here and I can take off running. Of course, I forgot my priming rod, didn't I? But that's okay. So there you go. That's the end of the priming video. I hope that helped. I'm telling you, a lot of guys, they badmouth this priming system. There's nothing wrong with this priming system. It's the best in the world, okay? I love this press. As you can see, my press is smooth, okay? Velvet smooth. This is the best progressive press on the market right here. Auto indexing, okay? It's smooth. It puts out reliable ammunition. My caliber changeover is fast. I mean fast. I mean, you know, if I want to come over here and I want to do a caliber changeover, I'm just going to loosen this and pull that out, spin that, okay. Most of the time, you know, when you're doing a caliber changeover, you're not going to have primers in there. But if you did, you can take them out. You can repackage them, okay. And okay, so you know, you want to do a caliber changeover. I mean, this thing's fast. You know, just come over here, grab my handy dandy wrench, okay. And then I would have the other priming ram handy, so I'd put it in like that. Remember, we don't over tighten it. I would take the other priming slide. We'll just pretend this is the other one. I don't want to have to go get everything out of the bin. And remember how we do this, right? Okay. You don't even need needle nose pliers. Bam, just like that. And then what I would do is I would pull this bad boy apart. Guys, you're watching this, man. This is how long it takes to change over your priming system for a different caliber. Okay. Then I would take, okay, my large pistol out. I'd bring my small pistol in. We'll just pretend this is the small pistol. I'm going to put that in there like that. You're going to put your explosion shield on. Oops. Gosh, guys. Can't believe you watching my videos. I'm going to mess you up for sure. But I'll tell you what. Look how quick you can put that. And don't reef on this. You just snug it up. That's all you need. Look at that. Put your cap on there. That quick. That quick. You know? And then, you know, if you got your dies all ready, you know, you just there you go. All I got to do is put whatever shell plate on I want. So I'm going to pick my, yeah, we'll say it's a number 6. We'll say we're doing 357 mag, or we're doing 38. Look how quick I'm doing that. I hope one of you guys out there timed me. Did one of you guys look at your watch before I did this? What, 3 minutes? 3 minutes maybe. Notice that's all the tighter I tighten that. Watch my first video. Gotta watch my first video. If you haven't seen my first video, oh, you're missing out. Half index up, half index down. Do it one more time. Woo! There we go. I just did a caliber change, guys. Is that nice? Auto index, quick caliber change. Okay, it's effortlessly easy to dial my powder measure in. Guys, look how quick I did that. I'm ready to rock and roll. I love this press. This is the greatest automatic progressive press in the world right here. It is so heavy duty. I love this press, and I don't need to, but I thought about buying a second just because, just because. So, one thing I want to tell you, okay, don't store your primers that way. Those are always empty, okay? You don't want to store primers in there because those will build up with rings on the inside, okay? Periodically, you can take all your tubes, you can put them in hot soapy water, run a brush through them, but you want to keep those clean, okay? Don't store primers in this. Very dangerous. Another thing to think about is, where do you store your primers? Do you store your primers on the same bench that you clean your brass on? In other words, if you got a bench and you're vibrating your brass for hours on end and your primers are also on that bench, I wouldn't recommend that. Put those somewhere else where you're not going to have that issue. So, I told you, didn't I tell you? I was going to show you a lot of really cool ideas to help you out. Now I'm going to have some more videos, so after you watch this one, keep trucking through them. If you own this press and you're having any problems, that's why I'm making these videos, because what I do in my walk of life is I meet guys that are getting into reloading, or they have been reloading, and they have questions on this when they get it, and I answer them. And I thought, if I just made some YouTube videos, I could help a lot of people. Now, if you don't have this press, after you watch my videos, you are going to be able to get your press, set it up from the ground up, okay, and get it rolling. And my very last video on this, what we're going to do is I'm going to bust this down. I'm going to even unbolt it off the bench, and we're going to set it all the way up as if it came new in the box, okay? And you will be able to get this thing rocking and rolling. So, all right, so that's the end of the video, and I hope it helped you. That's my goal. So remember, I am not liable if you hurt yourself reloading, okay? You take it upon yourself to get professional instruction on reloading. Take it upon yourself to get professional instruction on shooting for yourself and your entire family, okay? It can be the best thing you ever did, okay? You could save your life, and most of all, it could save a loved one's life, okay? I am not responsible if you hurt yourself at all. I'm just trying to show you how to get this done. So, until next time, keep your powder dry, keep your primers, keep your primers in your powder low. I store all my primers and my powders low. That's where you're going to have the least temperature change. Temperature change is not going to hurt your powder going from one temperature to another gradually over time. It's the ups and downs daily. So keep the powder low, keep it sealed, keep it dry. Now future videos are going to be this. Okay, we've done the shell plate, the priming system. Next we're going to do the powder hopper, okay? The powder measure, I'm going to show you how to prime it. I'm going to show you how to throw accurate charges, and I'm just going to show you how to get this all dialed in. So once you watch my video, you're going to understand everything about your powder measure, okay? So with that in mind, thank you very much, and until next time, take care, have a good day.